Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited you're here. I've got another one of my Toastmasters friends that I want to introduce you to. I am Terry Ann Porter. I've been at Toastmasters for 8 years. I totally forgot already. I have met some great people here, and I want to introduce you to another fellow Toastmasters that I've met. Welcome, Mike Edwards.
Hello.
Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited. We've kind of run into each other off and on throughout our Toastmasters years, which leads me to my very first question I want to know. I told you I've been in now for 8 years. How long have you been in Toastmasters?
I've been in for 9 years. I
Nine
joined back
years?
in 2015. And only reason I know that for sure now is because just our last Toastmasters meeting, someone was talking about, their 10-year anniversary. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, I'm about to hit 10 years next year, too.
All right. That's a celebration, isn't it?
Yep.
But you've been in now for 9 years. Why? What led you to join Toastmasters?
Well, it's easy. I work for the federal government, so far, two different agencies. Before I served in uniform for 23 years. I retired and then I started teaching for the Army Management Staff College, or I'm sorry, Command and General Staff College at Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. And the audience I got routinely changed, which was fine. Then when I moved over to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, again in a trainer instructor capacity, my audience became more stagnant. And then the more you work around people, the more they get to know you, the more they get used to you. They really don't want to give you feedback and tell you what you're doing bad, good, or whatever. Just give you feedback, help you improve. So I said, well, let me go check this. I've always heard about Toastmasters. Let me go check them out. Let me go see if they will give me some feedback on my teaching style, on my speaking and whatever. And that's really the reason why I joined, because I was seeking feedback. I needed feedback. I teach. Like I said, the audience became more stagnant, and people were just reluctant to say, "Well, Mike, you really messed that up." And, oh, Mike, you did just fine. Don't worry about it. So Toastmasters
Right.
gave me that opportunity to, people will say, maybe you ought to do this instead of doing that, and that's why I joined. Feedback.
Evaluations and feedback are something that I just find so wonderful in Toastmasters.
I have
That
a coworker.
even, yeah,
He,
go ahead.
he finds the same thing. He says one of the best things he enjoys about Toastmasters is that idea of feedback. So you evaluate everything, and you try to get feedback on the meeting, get feedback on the speech, get feedback on your leadership position. So yeah, there's some
Yes, I
benefits.
like that. And even those Toastmasters I meet that have been Toastmasters for years and years and years, and they're very good speakers. They're always saying, I know, I'm good. Now, tell me, how can I get even better?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, 9 years, why are you still in Toastmasters?
Now it's more for the camaraderie, the relationships, the building, and I'm also the big portion of it is I'm in that phase of my life where I there's not very many more mountains I feel like I need to climb or I want to climb, but I want to help others climb their mountains. So if I can give you the benefit of any of my experience, if I can help you along the way somehow, uh, I, I have members of my club right now who are doing new positions or leadership positions, or even in their personal life, and they're asking for help. Hey, tell me what you need. Tell me what you want. How can I help you get you where you want to go? So that's why I stay. I really enjoy the relationships, and I really enjoy helping people. And yeah, I still need to improve on my speaking too.
Do you get up very often and give speeches in your club?
I do not right now. I belong to the Sunday Speakeasy Toastmasters, and I am a club president right now. So most of the speeches I give aren't related to the path, to my path, because like just this past meeting, I gave one talking about the moments of truth. So a lot of the speeches, I'm introducing concepts to my club. I am teaching new members about different things. So I'm not so much working on the path per se, but yeah, like I said, I'm working on other people and giving them information how to keep the club going, how to improve our club, how to get membership, just things like that.
That's great. You just mentioned the moments of truth. What is the moments of truth?
It, Toastmasters International says there are these moments of truth, these times when uh, we have only one opportunity to make a first impression on whether it's a person that's visiting our club or it's someone who just happens to hear about Toastmasters or whatever. So, or just walks in the door. And again, just in this last meeting, something happened. Right before I gave the moments of truth, someone walked in the door and said, "Hey, what's going on in here?" Oh, this is about to have a Toastmasters meeting. Oh, I've always heard about Toastmasters. Can you tell me about it? And while we did do that, we did tell this person about what our club was about and what Toastmasters was about. We didn't have anything we can hand out to them. So that was something in the moments of truth that I was able to point out. I'm like, hey, this just happened. This we ought to have something that we say, hey, uh, here, you want to learn about Sunday Speakeasy? Check this out, and then come back and visit us when you get a chance.
Oh, great point. Great point. So it's kind of a review of an overview of what your club needs and kind of like the evaluations you were talking about, ways
Correct.
to improve. I think that's one of the things that I like about Toastmasters. It's always, okay, we're doing good, but how do we go one step better? And there's always that evaluation of it, even in
Yes.
every meeting, like you mentioned.
Yes. That's so true.
I know you attended. Are you a part of the one club that we were together at the a few weeks ago?
Suburban? No,
Suburban.
Doris, who was running that meeting, is also a member of Sunday Speakeasy. So she's a member of two clubs.
Okay.
And she invited us when we were just there to support her for that meeting.
So I have met several people who are members of multiple clubs and even visiting other clubs. When you visit other clubs, do you find are they all the same? Everybody does the exact same thing?
No, you can expect certain things to be the same, but every club has its own personality. Every club does something that they think is special. I've been to club meetings where there are clubs who only want to do humorous topics or do humorous speeches. I think it was out of Washington. It's a comedy club, and Everyone's trying to be funny
Mm-hmm.
uh, in during those club meetings. I've been to meetings where table topics rules the day. They impromptu speaking for Toastmasters. Uh, they just want to practice all those aspects of impromptu speaking, and so the meeting is centered around table topics to give everybody a chance to do uh, impromptu speaking. And I've seen clubs, or I've been to a club meeting where it was my first one. I was in Germany for work, and I visited a club there, and they had the meeting outside. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this talk about a distraction you get because we're in the middle of a park, and
Absolutely.
people are walking all around, and you're trying to give a speech. I'm like, man, this is crazy. But yeah, each club has its own little personality, and there may be something unique about it. For the most part, they do speeches. We try to do them from the manual. For the most part, they all do table topics, and for the most part, they all, like we talked about, the evaluations, which is a very important part of it. But there's their unique spin on those things that help each club have its own personality.
Wow. That is interesting. I do love visiting other clubs and seeing how they do things. And we have found some clubs might have a position that others don't have. Suburban that we were at not too long ago, guys got up, and I've seen other clubs do this. We start out with a joke. Let's start out with something fun to get us going. My own club doesn't do that, but I've seen other clubs do that. That's a fun way to get started.
It is.
What is a highlight that you've seen or participated in in your Toastmasters experience?
My highlight. um, I really like contests, and District
Oh,
22 has held a number of contests, both within the Toastmaster pantheon as well as the various. And I think the ones that really I would involve me, just talked about the clubs that have a lot of personality. The first club that I joined, Tiffany Springs Toastmasters, most of the members were storytellers. They also belonged to like the Missouri Storytellers Association or the Kansas Storytellers Association. And so we did a lot of things with stories in Tiffany Springs. And we even had a storytelling contest where we invited other club members as well as some of the storyteller members to come in and let's see who can tell the best story. So those competitions like that, the competitions that District 22 runs, that Toastmasters in general runs, that leads up to the World Championship for Public Speaking. I really enjoy hearing those, hearing people get better, and just wow, they just told that whole story and I learned something in 5 to 7 minutes.
that doing it in 5 to 7 minutes is really powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about getting that speech down to only the necessary words you need to be able to, one, tell the story, and two, give out the information that you want to give out, and still make it like I said, a wonderful speech for some of them, or many of them.
I know that's one of the things that I struggled with. I had no problem speaking in front of other people, but when I was starting into Toastmasters and getting good feedback, what I was finding I was doing, I was basically putting 45 minutes worth of information into that 5 to 7 minute speech, which meant that I never took a breath. My audience was totally exhausted and they had no idea what I was talking about. So learning how, it's not just the speaking itself, it was learning the writing of that speech. Yes. And how to pull different things out. And okay, for 45 minutes, you can include that. 5 to 7, you can't include all those pieces. How do you do it?
And that's probably one of the benefits that's helped me, because I admit I have a college professor mentality. Just like you said, I want to shove everything in there as much as I can. Oh, I'm going to give you the benefit of my years of experience, and I'm going to shove it all in there. But Toastmasters, like I said, has taught me I need to cut it down. I only have so much time. People can only listen to me for so long, and I need to give them the essentials, get up there, get the message out, and sit down.
You were talking about contests. Did you participate in any?
I have participated. Oh, yes. I enjoy running them. Yeah, definitely. But I do enjoy participating as well. And just that process of developing a speech. And it's like we're talking about here, of cutting it down, getting the essential message out, what you want people to come away with, and make it something that really is viable or a great speech. It's a lesson in itself, just how trying to get that down to where it's something that people will want to hear and listen to.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I've enjoyed some of the different contests and learning. It's discouraging when you aren't the winner and moving along, but
Sure.
but the learning opportunity of, okay, what did that person do that I didn't do, and how can I improve? It's always the how can I improve, not the focus on here's what you did wrong. The focus on how can I improve. Right. And I think that perspective and that attitude makes such a difference.
I agree. Definitely. And it's just like you just said, too. It's like, all right, it's not, well, this person's speech was so much better than mine. All right, here are the elements I heard in this person's speech that made them move forward. And all right, do I have those same elements in my speech, or did I do something different? So again, it's all about the learning. What did I learn from putting that speech together and speaking it? Did I move correctly? Did I articulate it pretty well? Did I give people time enough to pause for them to either laugh if I told a joke or contemplate what I'm thinking? And then at the end, did the conclusion make sense to fit the beginning or even the title, and understand? So yeah, it's all that, again, dissecting or learning how to put the words together so that it comes out as a cohesive message.
And you don't have to do it alone. There are plenty of people who are willing to help you learn, not come in and tell you, okay, do it this way, but to
Right.
help you learn and keep your style.
Yes.
Everybody has their own particular style.
And the other piece I like about that, about especially about Toastmasters, is you get other perspectives because I've heard many Toastmasters say, "Look, it's just my opinion of it. This is what I heard you say." And not
Mhm.
everybody's going to share that opinion. Well, I latched on to this piece. So you get so many different perspectives of what you said. And now you have to choose, all right, which one is probably going to be the most impactful what I
Right.
have in this speech.
Yes. And it's not just the one person who evaluates, everybody gets an opportunity to let you know how they were affected by what you said.
Correct. Oh, yes. So true.
Always learning in there. That is awesome. That is awesome. Now you said that you are president of a club. How does Toastmasters help you with your leadership roles?
Oh, oh, this is, to me, this is so funny because I teach leadership for federal government, to the civilian side, people. And I tell them all the time, I spent 23 years in uniform. I was a leader in the Army. I did all these things. I said, and people don't believe me when I say this. In many cases, it is much easier to be in such a institutionalized structure as the U.S. Army and be a leader than it is to be in a volunteer organization trying to get people to go into the same direction. I have so many more different tools at my disposal as a leader within the federal government than I do as a volunteer, which all Toastmasters are, an organization where we're all there, uh, hopefully trying to learn to become better speakers, or we're trying to learn to become better leaders. And so trying to marry those two, all right, volunteer organization, I can't do the same things I do over here in the old institution of the U.S. Army. What am I having going to do that's different? They get people, motivate people to join the club, not just to join the club, but to step up and do leadership positions, step up, do speeches, step up, and participate in the club. It's not it doesn't look the same. Now the leadership principles are the same, but the tools available to me are much different.
Hmm. What tools are available to you as a Toastmaster?
Oh, there are plenty of tools of assistance to help in Toastmasters. I mean, we'll talk about the education piece. Uh, Once you become a club officer, the districts hold the club officer training twice a year. They give you opportunity to talk with other club leaders, and what they're going through, what they're experiencing, how you can and develop those things. We talked about the opportunity to get evaluations from others. You also have that opportunity to get evaluations within the club as well. There's the club coaching program. There's the club mentoring program. Um, let you know a little secret, the federal government is just catching on to that idea of going to coaching and
Oh,
mentoring
really?
to help leaders. As well, I'll say the Army right now is really highlighting, having people develop as Army coaches so they can go out and, leaders who need assistance, need some help, need some development. They go out and get a Army coach to help them with their leadership position. But we have those things in Toastmasters as well. So I talked about the education piece. The district puts on the club officer training, and there's availability of having experience with the coaching or mentoring. If your club, usually it's assigned to the club, not necessarily to the individual, but that person's available. And then there's the leadership aspect. There's the area directors who come around and they have to come to the different meetings and they'll come in. What can I help you with? I found area director was probably one of the most fun jobs for me to do because I got to do that thing. Do just that. Go to the different clubs within my area, and I'd sit down and talk with the officers after the meeting, or with the select individuals before or after the meeting, and say, hey, so what's going on? What are your problems? What can I assist you with? And if I didn't have the answer, then I had the division director that I could rely on. Say, hey, this club is having this issue. What can we do to help them? Vision director didn't have an answer. They could always go to the district leadership. Hey, we're having a problem down at this club. What can we do to help? What can we do to go? So there's that structure there within Toastmasters. Like I said, education, coaching, mentoring, and then the leadership to come in and help guide and develop people that are going through the program.
So you're not just thrown into a leadership position and said, hey, here it is, you go do it by and be by yourself.
No, if you reach out, if you can, there is someone there who can help you with whatever position there is. Like I said, there are plenty of people around, especially within District 22, who have been club officers before. Their area directors are very active. I sit through a lot of the district meetings. I hear who's doing their reports, who's going to visit the clubs, and how it's going. So it's very good. And I see my division director quite a bit. So there is an opportunity out there to learn.
So it sounds like there's a lot of learning opportunities, a lot of support.
Yes. A lot of support.
That is awesome. And of course, sometimes, you have to ask. That's the hard part sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's something I have to talk with my daughter right a bit. So if you don't ask the question, people won't know you're having a problem. So go ask the question.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you had one opportunity to talk to somebody and say, this is Toastmasters, what would you say?
Ooh. I really need to come up with a good answer for that, because in my position now, again, I teach a lot of different civilians. I'm back with the Army teaching civilians. Quite often I'll have someone walk up to me and says, hey, I really want to work on my public speaking. I want to be a better communicator, and I'll recommend Toastmasters for that reason mainly. But if I had just one thing, I says, if you're looking for an opportunity for growth, Toastmasters is the club for you. Go find yourself a Toastmaster club where you fit in, where the people you can relate to, and sit back. Well, don't sit back. Just be ready to grow, because you're going to have to jump in with both feet and be ready to do some things if you're ready for growth. We can't just sit back and grow.
Oh, I like that. You can't just sitting in the chair is not enough.
That's it. Be ready to jump in.
I like that. Well, thank you very much, Mike, for joining me.
No problem. That was fun.
I really enjoyed my time in Toastmasters. I've enjoyed the people that I have met in Toastmasters. And to those of you who are watching, I hope that you'll go back and meet some of my other friends that I've introduced you to. And I've got a few more lined up. I can't wait to share with you more about why Toastmasters.